Can you imagine waking up every night at exactly 3 a.m., as if some hidden force is tugging at your soul? For countless folks over 60, this isn't just a random occurrence. It's a hauntingly consistent ritual. No matter if they hit the pillow early after a quiet evening or stayed up late laughing with friends, the result is the same. An invisible alarm clock buried deep within jolts them awake at that precise, eerie hour. They blink glance at the glowing digits on their bedside clock, and there it is, 3 a.m., staring back like a mysterious signal. Why does this happen? What's calling them in the dead of night? This strange pattern has baffled doctors and captivated scholars who study the intricate dance of mind, body, and spirit. It's not just a quirk of getting older. It feels like something bigger. For some, it's a whisper of something profound, a sign from the universe. For others, it's just a biological hiccup, a random glitch in the system. But could there be a deeper truth behind this nightly wake-up call? Buried in the shadows of history, a forgotten explanation lies waiting, left by one of the most enigmatic figures of the 20th century. His name, Edgar Cayce, still sparks heated debates among doctors, spiritual seekers, and curious minds alike. Who was this man, and what did he know about these mysterious awakenings? For decades, stories have poured in from every corner of the globe. Men and women in their golden years, strangers with no connection to one another, report the same uncanny experience. They wake abruptly between 3 and 4 a.m., their minds swirling with deep thoughts, a restless energy, or even the strange sensation of a presence lingering in the room. Some feel a quiet peace wash over them, like a gentle embrace from the universe. Others are left puzzled, their hearts racing with questions. Why now in this chapter of life? Why always at this hour? It's only natural to search for answers, but too often they find only vague, unsatisfying explanations. Yet for those who dig deeper, a revelation awaits. Edgar Cayce, a mystic, whose insights still ripple through time, spoke of this very phenomenon. His records suggest that the early morning hours hold a unique power for the aging mind. If this resonates with you, consider liking this content and subscribing for more eye-opening insights. It helps us keep sharing these fascinating discoveries. Cayce believed that between 2 and 4 a.m., the mind slips free from the noise of the world. With the body at rest, the soul can speak more clearly, especially for older folks. Isn't that incredible? This sensitivity grows stronger with age, as if life itself is nudging you toward deeper truths. Waking up at 3 a.m., Cayce argued, isn't a flaw or a disorder. It's a call to listen. He saw it as a golden opportunity, not a nuisance to be ignored. In his readings, he shared stories of people who experienced these awakenings and chose to lean into the moment. Instead of tossing and turning, desperate to fall back asleep, they paused to feel what was stirring within. What did they find? Peace, answers, even bursts of inspiration. Can you imagine discovering clarity in the stillness of the night? This phenomenon isn't just a curiosity. It's a doorway to something profound. Sleep researchers have taken notice, but their lens is different. They point to hormonal shifts, changes in the circadian rhythm, or the lighter sleep that comes with age. It's true that as we grow older, our bodies produce less melatonin, making sleep more fragile. But here's the kicker. These explanations don't fully account for why so many people wake up at exactly the same hour, with no clear physical cause. Science sees the pattern, but struggles to pin it down. Isn't it frustrating when the answers feel just out of reach? Cayce, however, saw this not as a puzzle to solve, but as a message to embrace. He believed the body moves in harmony with the soul, and certain hours like 3 a.m. open a channel for this connection. When you wake at this hour again and again, it's more than chance. It's a gentle nudge to turn inward. Seniors often share that these moments bring thoughts unlike their daytime worries. Instead of fretting over bills or schedules, They're flooded with reflections on life memories, long buried, or a nagging sense that something important is calling. Have you ever felt a quiet urgency you couldn't explain? For some, it's a whisper of purpose, impossible to ignore. This is where Cayce's wisdom shines. He believed that as we age, the soul works to tie up loose ends, and the silence of the night creates the perfect space for this inner work. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't a glitch. It's a signal that your spirit needs attention. Not a medical issue, but a natural part of preparing for the next chapter of life. It's like a silent conversation with yourself blooming when the world's distractions fade away. How beautiful is that? In recent years, as people live longer with sharper minds, these experiences have become more common, revealing a pattern once thought to be rare. In the past, waking up in the wee hours was brushed off as just a part of old age, annoying but normal. Today, with access to Cayce's records and a growing curiosity, new perspectives are emerging. These ideas resonate with those who live it not because they demand blind faith, but because they encourage us to pay closer attention. Are these quiet nights just random? Or are they whispering something we've yet to understand? That question alone can spark a personal journey, one that brings clarity and comfort. After all, isn't understanding your own heart and mind the key to a richer life? Cayce's insights weren't just about spirituality. In a religious sense, he saw consciousness as a vital part of being human, as real as the body itself. When he spoke of the soul shining through at night, he meant those moments when the busy rational mind takes a back seat. For older adults, this becomes even more powerful. With fewer obligations, kids' grown careers winding down, they have space to listen to their inner voice. Isn't it amazing how life shifts to make room for this? These silent hours can unlock doors once sealed by the chaos of daily life. For Cayce, waking up at 3 a.m. was an invitation to truly hear yourself. A rare moment where no emails, no chores, no noise can distract you. Only your inner presence, longing to be felt. This first step toward self-understanding is profound. But he was clear. Not every 3 a.m. wake up is a spiritual summons. If it happens night after night, though, don't ignore it. Ask yourself, what's stirring inside me? What is my mind trying to show me in this quiet moment? These questions, simple as they seem, carry deep weight, especially as the years pile on. Cayce saw aging as more than physical. It's a symbolic journey. As time shifts, the soul begins to sort through a lifetime of experiences. That's why so many seniors report vivid dreams, sudden memories, or these strange middle-of-the-night awakenings. It's all part of an inner cleansing, a silent preparation for what's next. Can you believe it? Even ordinary folks with no spiritual background shared stories that echoed this. They'd wake between 2 and 4 a.m., bathed in a strange peace, sometimes struck by ideas that felt like they came from somewhere else entirely. Some chose to jot down their thoughts, pen letters, rethink old choices, or simply sit in the stillness. Cayce saw this as proof of a deeper connection, a sign that their consciousness was tapping into something profound. Nothing supernatural, just the mind moving at a different rhythm, using the quiet to reveal what the day buries. His advice: don't rush back to sleep. Instead, breathe, observe, and let the moment unfold. How often do we give ourselves permission to just be? This perspective is sparking new interest among modern scholars. Not because Cayce had all the answers, but because he dared to see so-called disorders differently. Instead of slapping a medical label on every symptom, he urged us to treat the body and mind as partners in aging. Of course, medical advice matters. Always check with a doctor if something feels off. But when tests come back normal and the 3 a.m. wake-ups persist, maybe it's time to explore the emotional side. How's your heart feeling? Are there unresolved threads tugging at you? Cayce believed the body sends signals when the soul needs to reorder something. And in old age, these signals grow louder. This view can transform how we experience these moments. Instead of dreading the wake-up, imagine it as a pause, a chance to reflect deeply. One 72-year-old woman shared a powerful story. For years, she woke at 3 a.m., frustrated and restless. Then she decided to embrace it, to listen. She noticed patterns in her thoughts, unresolved issues with her kids, dreams she'd shelved, choices she'd delayed. Slowly, she began writing it all down, organizing her inner world. The result: she stopped waking up distressed. The hour didn't change, but her perspective did. Isn't that inspiring? This captures what Cayce meant by the power of self-discovery in these quiet moments. It's not about chasing mystical visions. It's about realizing that our bodies and minds keep teaching us, no matter our age. So many older adults greet the night's silence with anxiety, convinced something's wrong with their sleep or health. But hearing stories like this, they realize they're not alone. That shared experience brings comfort, doesn't it? Knowing others face the same pattern, even studied by thinkers like Cayce, can ease the worry and open new doors. Of course, everyone's different. Some wake-ups may need a doctor's attention, but when everything checks out and the 3 a.m. alarm keeps ringing, consider it an invitation to look inward. Cayce didn't offer quick fixes, but he left a powerful warning. Ignoring your body and soul's signals is like missing a chance to grow. Modern science treads lightly on topics like consciousness and spirituality, and for good reason. It's hard to measure. Neuroscience has unraveled the mechanics of sleep, from brain waves to hormonal cycles. But what about the feelings, the thoughts, the fleeting insights that dance in that space between sleep and wakefulness? Cayce called this moment a rare frontier where the conscious and unconscious mind brush against each other. That's why so many seniors find clarity in the night. Brief, powerful moments brimming with meaning. You don't need to understand it all right away. Sometimes just noting what comes up, a memory, a worry, a forgotten dream, can bring relief. There's a quiet wisdom in the aging body, gently showing what needs healing, not just physically, but emotionally and symbolically. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't meant to scare you. It's a reminder. A call to forgive, to accept, to speak what's been unsaid. Many who've embraced this shift report life-changing results. Instead of fighting these nights, they welcome them, creating small rituals, jotting down thoughts, whispering a prayer, listening to soft music, or simply breathing deeply. These acts don't just ease sleeplessness, they forge a deeper connection to something greater, something human, an encounter with your own heart, Cayce said. The soul doesn't shout, it whispers. And in the night silence, those whispers grow clear. Have you ever felt something stir in those quiet hours? It's not just insomnia, it's a pause, a moment where time seems to hold its breath, letting your mind sift through a lifetime of experiences. Life slows down in later years. The house grows quieter, the days less frantic. This creates space for a new kind of listening. Waking up at 3 a.m. might be one of life's final invitations to face yourself with honesty. What a gift that could be, often dismissed as a bother. These moments can become a path to peace and understanding. The beauty is, it doesn't rely on belief. Skeptics, believers, people of all backgrounds report this same wake-up call, the same hour, the same lack of clear cause, the same unusual thoughts. That alone hints at something universal, doesn't it? Cayce's interpretation gives this pattern meaning. He saw the soul as ever active, even in rest, working to resolve what's been left undone. Even if you don't buy the spiritual angle, just paying attention to these moments can spark change. There's no need to grasp it all at once. Sometimes accepting that these processes have their own rhythm is enough. Practically, this approach helps you know yourself better. Noticing what you feel at 3 a.m. can reveal patterns, unearth anxieties, or revive memories. This might lead to heartfelt talks with loved ones, decisions long delayed, or a newfound lightness. Who knew the night could hold such power? Cayce said wisdom doesn't crash in with fanfare. It slips in during quiet moments when the mind slows down and listens. Older adults waking at 3 a.m. aren't broken or ill. They're in the midst of a profound process, one that deserves respect and patience. His core idea was simple, yet striking. If your body wakes you, something needs your attention. This flips the usual approach of numbing symptoms with pills or techniques. While those have their place, why not first ask what this wake-up is trying to say? It's not random, it's a pattern worth exploring with curiosity. Old age isn't a time of inner quiet, as some assume it's a phase of new depth. The more you heed these signals, the clearer it becomes that there's still so much to live, learn, and resolve. Even when life feels settled, your body might be hinting at more to notice. Many seniors find that embracing these wake-ups changes their relationship with sleep. They stop fighting the interruption, instead, lingering in the silence open to what surfaces. For some, it's become a meditative ritual, a private moment to reflect on their journey far from the world's clamor. How peaceful does that sound? Cayce saw this as part of a grand cycle where the soul readies itself for new chapters, not just beyond life, but here now, with greater clarity and calm. Aging doesn't dim your capacity for change. It highlights what's been waiting to be addressed. Writing down thoughts in these moments is a simple way to give them voice. No need for grand revelations, just note what stirs, even if it feels small. Over time, patterns emerge, recurring themes, names, emotions. This practice, Cayce said, helps you see what's happening in your heart. The night with its stillness is the perfect stage for these discoveries. Many who've tried this report, unraveling life's mysteries in ways they never expected. A single memory jotted down can loosen an emotional knot tied for decades. Waking up at 3 a.m. might feel like a hassle, but what if it's one of your body's most urgent signals, begging for your attention? When you stop seeing it as a flaw and embrace it as a meaningful pause, everything shifts. Cayce didn't aim to mystify, he sought clarity, viewing every experience as a chance to learn even the smallest ones. His forgotten warning still rings true today. Instead of brushing off or medicating these moments, why not ask, what's this silence trying to tell me? The answers may come from within, offering a gift, the chance to rediscover parts of yourself with newfound peace and understanding. Life teaches us to chase busy, noisy moments. But in later years, the rhythm changes, inviting us to hear what we've overlooked. These 3 a.m. wake-ups, so common among seniors, are a call to listen deeply. Cayce didn't demand blind belief, he just urged attention. For those living this nightly ritual, it's worth asking, what's stirring in me? What's left unsaid or unresolved? The night silence is the perfect setting for this intimate meeting with yourself. No rush, no pressure, just presence. Science may not yet fully explain this phenomenon, but its reality is undeniable. The stories are countless, the patterns clear. When paired with Cayce's vision, a gentler, richer understanding of aging emerges, not romanticized, but deeply human. The body changes. Yes, but the mind stays vibrant, and the soul, Cayce believed, speaks loudest in these later years. So don't fear these wake-ups or dismiss them as failures. Embrace them as part of a natural journey. With care, they can bring peace, insight, and even new purpose. If this touches something you've felt or seen in someone close, consider liking and subscribing to keep these reflections coming. Cayce's message, though often overlooked, still invites us to notice what our body and mind whisper so subtly. Maybe 3 a.m. isn't a problem to fight. It's a reminder of the deep conversations still unfolding within us in the truest silence life offers. Have you ever wondered what's stirring in your heart when you wake up at 3 a.m., caught in that strange space between dreams and reality? So little is said about what we feel in those quiet, fleeting moments. What thoughts swirl, what emotions rise, what whispers linger in the stillness. Edgar Cayce, a mystic whose words still echo with meaning, called this hour a rare frontier, a sacred meeting point, where the conscious and unconscious mind brush against each other. Isn't that incredible? For so many seniors, these nighttime awakenings spark insights that feel like tiny bursts of clarity loaded with meaning. You don't need to unravel it all right away. Sometimes just jotting down a memory, a nagging worry, or a forgotten feeling is enough. Those small notes can reveal what your soul is quietly trying to sort out, and oh, how often that simple act brings a wave of relief. There's a quiet wisdom in the aging body, gently nudging you toward what needs healing, not just physically but emotionally and symbolically too. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't meant to scare you. It's a reminder, a call to notice what's been left unsaid, what needs forgiveness or what's yearning for acceptance. Seniors who've learned to see these moments differently share stories of profound change. Instead of dreading those sleepless nights, they've started to embrace them, welcoming the silence like an old friend. Can you imagine the peace that comes with that shift? Some have even crafted little rituals to honor these moments. Scribbling down thoughts in a journal, whispering a heartfelt prayer, playing soft music that soothes the soul, or simply breathing with intention. These acts don't just help with sleep. They deepen a sense of connection to something greater. Not religious, but deeply human. A meeting with your truest self, Cayce said. The soul doesn't shout, it whispers. And in the hush of the night, those whispers become crystal clear. Isn't it amazing how the quiet can hold such power? That's why so many, especially older folks, feel something unique when they wake at this hour. It's not just insomnia. It's a pause, a crack in time where everything feels suspended and your mind finds room to sift through a lifetime of experiences. The body no longer buzzes with the demands of youth. The house is quieter now, the daily grind less frantic. This opens a space for a subtler kind of listening. Don't you think? Waking up at 3 a.m. regularly might just be one of life's final invitations to look inward with raw, unguarded honesty. What a gift that could be. This experience, so often brushed off as a bother, can transform into a golden opportunity for understanding and peace. What makes it even more striking is that it doesn't depend on faith or belief. People from all walks of life, different backgrounds, religions, even skeptics, report this same eerie awakening. The clock ticks to that same hour with no clear physical cause, and their minds hum with thoughts that feel out of the ordinary. Doesn't that suggest something bigger, a pattern that stretches beyond the usual explanations? Cayce offered a lens to make sense of this mystery. He believed the soul never stops working even when the body rests, always seeking to resolve what's been left undone. Waking up in the night might just be a reflection of that inner work. Even if you're not sold on the spiritual side, simply paying attention to these moments can spark change. You don't need to grasp it all at once. Sometimes it's enough to trust that these moments have their own quiet logic. Isn't that a comforting thought? There's a practical side to this too, and it's powerful. When you lean into what you feel at 3 a.m., you start to know your emotions better. You spot patterns, uncover hidden anxieties, or rediscover memories long tucked away. This can lead to heartfelt talks with family, decisions you've put off for years, or just a lighter heart. Self-discovery doesn't have an expiration date, and this stage of life is ripe for it. Longevity gives you time you might have craved in your younger years. How incredible is it that these quiet hours can unlock such insights? Cayce said, "Wisdom doesn't burst in with noise. It slips in during calm, when the mind slows down and truly listens." Those waking up in the wee hours aren't broken or sick. They're living a process that deserves respect, patience, and curiosity. His core idea was beautifully simple. If your body wakes you, something needs your attention. This challenges the usual instinct to drown out the symptom with pills or relaxation tricks. Sure, those have their place. But why not first ask what this wake-up is trying to tell you? Waking up at the same hour, night after night, isn't random. It's a pattern, begging to be explored. Old age isn't a time of inner quiet. As some believe, it's a season of new depth. The more you tune into these signals, the clearer it becomes that there's still so much to live, learn, and resolve. Even when life feels settled, your body might be whispering that there's more to notice. Many seniors say that embracing these awakenings changes how they view sleep. They stop fretting over the interruption or fighting to drift back off. Instead, they linger in the silence, open to whatever surfaces. Can you imagine how freeing that must feel? For some, it's become almost meditative, a sacred time just for them away from the world's noise, where they can reflect on their life's path. Cayce saw this as part of a larger cycle, where the soul prepares for new steps, not just beyond this life, but right here with more clarity and calm. He believed aging doesn't dim your capacity for transformation. It sharpens the need to address what's been left undone. These nighttime wake-ups could be the start of deep, quiet changes driven not by age, but by a willingness to listen. Isn't that inspiring? Writing down what comes up in these moments is one of the easiest ways to give those whispers a voice. You don't need to pen a novel or chase grand epiphanies. Just note what you feel, what crosses your mind, even if it seems small. Over time, patterns emerge, recurring themes, names, emotions that keep circling back. This simple act, Cayce said, helps you see what's stirring in your heart. He believed the soul speaks in symbols, and those symbols shine brightest when the world is hushed. The night is the perfect stage for this. Many who followed his advice found clarity in parts of their lives that once felt tangled. Sometimes a single memory scribbled down can unravel an emotional knot tied for years. How powerful is that? Waking up at 3 a.m. might feel like a nuisance. But what if it's one of your body's most urgent signals, pleading for your attention? When you stop seeing it as a flaw and embrace it as a meaningful pause, everything changes. Cayce wasn't out to create mysteries. His mission was clarity. He saw every human experience, even the smallest, as a chance to learn. His forgotten warning about the night still resonates today, instead of ignoring or medicating these moments. Why not ask, what's this silence trying to show me? The answers might not come from outside. They're waiting within, offering a chance to rediscover forgotten pieces of yourself with more peace than ever before. Life teaches us to chase the loud, busy moments, tasks, noise, motion. But in later years, the rhythm shifts, opening a window to hear what's been overlooked. These 3 a.m. awakenings, so common among seniors, are a call to a new kind of listening. Cayce saw them as a turning point, not about chasing goals, but understanding their meaning. He didn't demand blind faith, just attention. For those living this nightly ritual, it's worth asking, what's stirring inside me? What's left unsaid or unresolved? The night's silence is the perfect stage for this intimate encounter. No rush, no pressure, just you. Even if science hasn't fully cracked this mystery, its existence is undeniable. The stories are countless, the patterns vivid. When paired with Cayce's vision, a gentler, deeper way to view aging emerges, not romanticized, but richly human. The body changes, yes, but the mind stays alive, and the soul, Cayce believed, speaks loudest in these later years. So don't fear these wake-ups or dismiss them as flaws. Embrace them as part of a natural journey. With care, they can bring peace, insight, and new purpose. If this strikes a chord, maybe something you've felt or seen in someone close, consider liking and subscribing to keep these reflections coming. Cayce's message, though often forgotten, still urges us to notice the subtle whispers of body and mind. Perhaps 3 a.m. isn't a battle to fight. It's a reminder of the deep, honest conversations still unfolding within, in the truest silence life offers. Oh, how deeply these 3 a.m. awakenings resonate with me. The idea that our bodies and souls might be whispering to us in the dead of night, urging us to pause and reflect, is nothing short of profound. I'm genuinely moved by Edgar Cayce's perspective that these moments aren't mere annoyances, but sacred invitations to connect with our inner selves. It's thrilling to think that in our later years, when the world grows quieter, we're gifted this chance to listen, really listen to what's been buried under the noise of life. Why do we so often dismiss these moments as problems to fix, when they could be opportunities for growth? I believe wholeheartedly that our modern lifestyle, with its relentless hustle and obsession with productivity, robs us of these quiet, reflective spaces. We're conditioned to medicate or ignore anything that disrupts our sleep. But what if we're missing something vital? Cayce's call to embrace these awakenings as moments of self-discovery feels like a rebellion against that mindset, a reminder to slow down and honor our inner world. It's heartbreaking to think how many of us, especially as we age, feel broken or flawed when we wake at 3 a.m., when really it's our soul begging for attention. I'm inspired by the seniors who've turned these nights into rituals of journaling or quiet breathing, finding peace in the stillness. Why can't we all learn from that courage? Socially, I'm struck by how this phenomenon transcends belief culture or skepticism. People from all walks report these wake-ups, and that universality excites me. It suggests we're all connected by something deeper, something human that science hasn't fully grasped. Yet I'm frustrated by how quick we are to pathologize aging, slapping labels on natural processes instead of exploring their meaning. Cayce's view that aging isn't just decline, but a phase of profound clarity feels like a wake-up call itself. I wish society valued this stage of life more, celebrating the wisdom and depth it brings rather than sidelining it. This perspective has me rethinking my own approach to life's quiet moments. I want to lean into them to ask, what's my heart trying to say, instead of rushing to silence it? It's empowering to imagine these 3 a.m. pauses as chances to heal old wounds, forgive past mistakes, or rediscover forgotten dreams. We need to champion this kind of introspection, not just for seniors, but for everyone. Life's too short to ignore these whispers. If we can embrace the silence, maybe we'll find not just answers, but a deeper connection to ourselves. That, to me, is a lifestyle worth living, one that honors the soul's quiet, persistent voice, no matter the hour.